it's your king here. And you know, there's great value in being an accomplished older man, in being an elder statesman when you're on the back nine of life. And you know, I encourage everyone to listen to the Old School Shooters podcast that Jack Kilby's hosting here on the Hannibal TV. Had the pleasure of being the first guests alongside Colin Crandall from MMA Power Hour. And that relates to what I'm about to discuss here. You know, I haven't competed in MMA in 13 years. It'll be 13 years this coming January, in a couple months. And I still coach, and when I coach now and have over the last 10, 12, 13 years, I command a great deal of respect when I go into the gyms, whether it be high school wrestling or collegiate wrestling, or more frequently nowadays back into coaching MMA. And I coached for a gym, couple MMA for years, and then Main Event in South Carolina. I was head coach at Capo, and was wrestling and grappling coach along with Steve Alponi at Main Event. And I kind of had a hiatus where I was just intermittently cornering fighters over the last few years, and now I've had the pleasure of coaching at Fighting Edge. And the point is you reach a certain age where you realize that spotlight is no longer yours, and you can pass on your knowledge to the younger generation, as it should be. But then you get guys who just hang around way too long, which brings me to the fight last night between Jake Paul and Anderson Silva, the boxing match. And Anderson was a great fighter. I remember when he was unstoppable, and then he kind of had that downward trajectory and had that nasty leg break years ago, and then the hunter became the hunted, and he walked away from the sport, as he should have. He stayed around a little too long, but then he starts coming back now in boxing, and he boxed another older man in Tito Ortiz and defeated him, and now he's lost to Jake Paul, and Jake Paul is playing this perfectly because he's getting these older guys who are legends, who are household names in MMA, and he's boxing them. And Anderson Silva was always a world-class striker, and he's a good boxer, but he's well past his prime. And I wish these guys nothing but the best. I don't know if it's for financial reasons or it's because they long for that spotlight, that they don't go away. But I have to say, you know, Jake Paul is doing it right. And none of these guys that are sticking around too long are as much of an embarrassment as the nature boy Ric Flair.